We're going to be starting up a little GameCube disassembly and install a Flippy Drive today. So I know those of you who like gaming content are not getting any gaming today. But you know what? Sometimes that happens. How dare it be assembled already? I know, right? Um let's see. Okay, take all these port covers off cuz I've not done this before. Um Well, it looks like those can stay on. So I'd rather do that. I don't see any screw holes, so that's good. And get my game bit out. Okay. Looks like there's just 4. Obviously, if I'm really wrong here, I'll back up, but I'll be gentle when opening this. Wow, licorice. What's a Flippy Drive? It is a device that accesses your GameCube and allows you to run homebrew. Here, you know what? Let's go over the contents of the package because I haven't opened it yet. Welcome in, lazy uncle. Thank you for checking in. And welcome in, Wild Licorice, Flipper's cousin. Not quite. So it comes in this lovely bag. I spared you the unboxing experience. Because it had my address in the box and I had a feeling that was going to happen. Oh, it's just loose parts. I was wondering why it was so loose. All right. So we've got a back plate, a replacement back plate, because Flippy Drive uses an Ethernet port and some sort of mounting bracket, it looks like, is my guess. That goes internal to the GameCube. And then this is our Ethernet module, which I paid extra for. And I have no idea what this is. Just looking at it, I have no clue. Ding dong ditch on jack. I'm glad to see you, buddy. Yeah, I have no clue what this could possibly be. It looks like a port cover, honestly, but I bet you it's got a better purpose than that. Anyway, we've got a ribbon cable. And then this is the Flippy Drive. Comes in a nice static bag. I'm glad to see that, because this didn't. It seems a little weird to have one thing come in a bag and not the other. There's supposed to be a... Oh, there it is. I was going to say, there's supposed to be a ribbon cable. This is the thing that everyone's talking about right now in the Flippy Drive community, because half the orders were shipping with the wrong ribbon cable. Fortunately, it looks like I might have gotten the right one. Let's see. It's a match. Okay. They've been shipping the Panasonic Q ribbon cables with non-Panasonic Q orders. Okay, so this is the Flippy Drive. I see a little Raspberry Pi chip right here. That's got a Pi logo on it. There you go. You can see it. Oh, how cute. a little dolphin. Isn't that adorable? If you don't know the significance of the dolphin. All right, I'm gonna put this back in its static bag. While we open up the GameCube. And apparently there's a lot of warnings. I just skimmed the instructions. There's a lot of warnings about this being incredibly delicate. It looks like you need to split it yourself, so that'll be fun. That'll be nice and nerve-inducing. But yeah, I've been waiting since March for this. So that's been fun. That's been an adventure. All right. Let's open this up. It still needs a little screwing. Okay. There we go. Why did they make this way? No, it's this one. Okay. Oh, come on. All right, I'm taking these plates off again. Am I missing one? I thought it's just these four. From what I'm seeing, it's just four. As someone who buys analog products since March, I mean, I specifically don't buy analog products for that exact reason. Like, I made sure to buy this after the first batch sold, and they said, we're going to continue to make this. I'm not the kind of person who just, like, buys some or pre-order something and expects to wait 5 years. So this is like the longest I've had to wait for anything. I feel like I should just flip the thing. But I don't want to lose a screw either. So flip it in 2 steps, I guess. Oh, that doesn't feel good. Oh, the handle's there, that's why. See, I've never owned a GameCube. And nope, there's one screw. And so it's still new to me, but I want to play my Wii games. I mean, my GameCube games, and my Wii doesn't work anymore. So I have a Wii U to play my Wii games, but I don't have any way to play my GameCube games. Of course, it's the two that I wasn't focused on. I was like, oh, those seem loose. No, they weren't. They weren't loose at all. Okay, we've got separation. It really doesn't want to lift upside down, does it? Oh, no. There we go. I was just holding it from the wrong part. Okay. Get this out of here. Try and catch these screws. Okay. 1, 2. We have a GameCube. That's all I have to do, right? Surely. We're done here. Now, I'm assuming this just pops off. Okay. We'll be replacing it with this, which does not look as nice. Like, these posts right here. Here. These posts. Original? What is this? What is this? This is... That's maddening. Also, it's not silver. Not that I'm surprised about that, but a little disappointed that I didn't get a color choice. All right. Ooh, there's a battery here? Uh-oh. Did not know there was a battery on the board for a GameCube. This is the biggest while you're in there that I didn't know about. All right. I'd replace that battery if I could. Oh, no, never mind. It's soldered in. I'm not replacing that. All right. It has an RTC for Animal Crossing. Oh, well, then I'm not worried about it. Fuck Animal Crossing. Huh. What is that? Hinge door, maybe? Yeah, that might be like a hinge sensor. Yeah, totally. Look. Okay, so we got an actuator right here. Here. We got an actuator that moves in and... Oh. This is an actuator. And this is the sensor. All right. Okay. All right. Step 1 was open the GameCube. Set aside rear I/O shield and let front I/O shield dangle. Okay. Is this the power switch? No, that's probably the power switch. I don't know what that is. See, I'm a bumbling idiot. I know nothing about the GameCube. I've owned one for less than 6 months, and this is my first time opening it. I see a lot of Phillips in here, so that's great. Because even though I have the game bit, I hate using this thing, and I want it to just... I want, like, a bunch of screws that are very friendly to replace eventually, and just get rid of all my game bit screws. Oh my. 10 screws. We're removing all of these. All of these. We're taking this whole thing up. All right. Okay. Yeah. So that's annoying. I'm gonna have to get a soldering iron, probably for a lot of things, is my guess, in the coming future. But this in particular is a solderless install, which is why I went for this kit, because there are solder install mods for GameCube out there. And it's just becoming more and more abundantly clear that I need a soldering iron, the more that I'm trying to turn these things on. Tried to turn on my Game Boy Advance yesterday. No, not yesterday. 2 days ago. It doesn't turn on anymore. Common problem is the power switch gets a lot of dust in there and stops making the bridge connection for the power. I made sure to leave batteries out of it. I've known that for years. Do not leave batteries in your Game Boys or other alkaline battery accepting electronics. You want me to let this dangle, but at the same time, you want me to take out 10 screws. How the hell am I supposed to get around this? All right, I'm going to show, not tell. I'm going to show, not tell. There's a screw under here. You know, there's a screw right here. But there's a screw under here. What am I supposed to do with that? Take a bit and just, like, use my fingers? Like, goddamn. Love to see a Nintendo technician take this one apart. They probably got a really cool ratcheting screwdriver for that one screw that comes in at a 90, because that's the only thing that makes sense. Oh. Okay. That's the answer. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15. I'm probably taking too many screws, if I had to guess. This one is not circled, for example. But it does look related. So maybe the instructions are just off. But these are not circled either. Okay. I'll see. I'll pay attention to the instructions. We'll do the 2 screws that it does say. Or no, there's 3. Might have taken an extra screw off. There's so many on this side right here. They're all circled though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ten, right. This one doesn't count. The one under the power supply doesn't count, according to this diagram. Maybe I should read ahead. I'm going to do what it says, though, first. That's what you do, right? Oh, geez. You pay attention to the instructions, and then you deal with any complications that arise. It does look like I'm unscrewing one piece, though, so I'm a little lost as to... There we go. How there's so few screws in this instruction. But that's fine, you know? Okay. That is 10 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Pull that off the post. Make it loose. Pull up. Well, I can pull this up. This has a really cool shock absorbing system for the disk drive. I will say that. I don't know how many other consoles have that. Oh. Next instruction. Tilt and move fan and power connector. And remove these screws. Got it. I'm thinking ahead. That's either a good thing or a bad thing. There we go. So 14 screws is what it looks like so far. I don't know if there's any over here. I can't see that yet. On camera, it doesn't look like there is, but I can't see that from here. You guys get the view, I don't. Which means there might be some twisting involved. Okay. Final screw, number 14. Put that down. Oh, okay. I suspect these little ones are related. Yes. Using a different screwdriver, of course, because they're tinier. Fortunately, I have a screwdriver that has multiple bits stored. Oop. That didn't feel good. Trying to take good care of this little floppy piece. Okay. I'm going to be a little gentle because it says use a P0 or a P1. And I only have a P1 here, so I don't know which one it actually is. It feels good, though. So, you know, we're just going gentle. Oh, my. That's a long screw. Okay. Not super long on the threads, though, which is nice. I do love that, you know, this is an electronic that you can open and actually take apart as a normal human being with not a ton of knowledge. Oh. Can't really see what I'm doing. Okay. You open this stream and you see me building something. It's worse, Hatter. I'm taking something apart. This is a Gamecube. But welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Ooh. Free part. I didn't realize that that just comes right off. Again, I can't see what you guys are seeing over here. I can see this side really well. Still not coming up. Okay.
The secret behind a great Eggs Benedict is in the hollandaise.
That feels loose. Welcome in, Benny. We're definitely doing surgery today. Oh. There we go. 3 out of 4. Okay. Can I just pull this piece up with the screw? Yes. Nice. We'll separate these. Four of those. 14 of these. Now can I pull up? Yes. With one hand holding the base of the GameCube, grab the drive and pull it upward. Holy heatsink, Batman. Freeing the drive and RF shield from the GameCube motherboard. Lovely shield. Huge shield. You definitely want to pull up straight because we've got a pin connector that we're disabling while lifting this. All right. I see sharp here. I know you guys can't see that, but I see a little tiny micro controller that says sharp, which is not unexpected. I'm kind of surprised I don't see anything that says Panasonic yet, because, you know, Panasonic helped build this thing. That's why they have the Q. But I know that, like, Sharp helped with Game Boy stuff, providing a lot of that stuff. All right. Oop. I'm going to keep my screwdriver away from my mouse. Give myself a little bit of mouse room. Obviously not a ton, but at this point your GameCube will be disassembled. Hooray. Step 2, prepare Flippy Drive. The mounting frame will cover one of the GameCube screw holes, so put one of the RF shield screws into the provided storage hole and set aside for later. That little bracket that I put right here. That's very hard to see on camera because it's black on black. So we put one of these. Gotta love 3D printed parts. You know, they're clearly pre-threaded. I'm just gonna leave that like that right now. Not the way that the image shows, but I'll just leave that like that and put it off to the side for now. Fold the flex cable carefully along the perforation. When viewing the flex cable, make sure we're doing the flex cable bit. Whew. All right. This is the scary part. I'm really glad that I have some lovely chill vibe music, because apparently we need to split this. Fold the flex cable carefully along the perforation. When viewing the flex cable, make sure the fold along the perforation results in increasing point upward like a W on the side of the flex cable with a triangle symbol. What? I'm really glad we have an image. Okay. So I'm trying to fold.
I don't know what any of this shit is, and I'm fucking scared.
Welcome in, Alyssa. I hope you're doing well. All right. We're doing some GameCube nonsense. Oh geez. Okay. Whew. All right. I don't love how that creased, but there's no way I'm recreasing it, I'll tell you that. Okay. I hope. The flex cable is quite forgiving to excessive force, but is undesirable to form a sharp fold. As long as it can seat into the connector, it will function. Okay, hopefully this works. Gently place the flex cable into the disk drive slot. In here? What? Yeah. New follower. Okay. Well, thanks for the follow, new follower. I hope you're doing well. Appreciate that. Cosmic, it's really good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I bent a ribbon cable on purpose, Ixachiel. It already feels bad. It already feels bad. All right. Basically the most unnerving electronics experience I've ever had. I would have rather have soldered this or something. Like, Jesus. Like, there's literally pins. Well, welcome in Super Xander 64. We're in the middle of GameCube surgery, and I'm doing a very bad job of showing that. Okay. I'm going to get some tweezers. Because, no surprise, it's not going in very well naturally. All right. Flew in the back of my drawer there. All right. I don't want the sharp pointy ones. Ow. Speaking of sharp pointy ones. Maybe these will be good. No, those are too pointy. These are more dull and tiny and largely never been used. Okay. Of course. Just fall out while I'm racking my brain over this ribbon cable. Okay. I'm just kind of very gently assisting it in there with the tweezers. I'm not using too much pressure with the tweezers themselves. I'm trying to use my fingers to push it down. All right. Now we're kind of in there. It doesn't feel like it's at the bottom yet, though. Okay, maybe it is. Verify the flex cable is folded correctly and not upside down. Fingers crossed. I think that's right. I don't know. It's the images aren't great on this orientation. I certainly folded it correctly, but I'm not sure if I put it in upside down. Okay. Wait, no? It is the opposite, isn't it? Hold on. Wait, what? Oh, you did this too, Xander? I think I folded it the wrong way. That sucks. Okay. Why did you put the same text on both sides? Here's hoping it folds back. It's quite flexible, at least. Well, congratulations on getting your Flippy Drive in the most recent batch, I'm assuming. All right, and then I want to do it this way. I guess it's in there. I really don't know. You did Pico Loader, though? Interesting that they didn't just print a 3D connector as well. Bending a ribbon cable just feels really sketchy. I agree, Benny. This seems... Well, I think, they're trying to do a solderless solution, but directly under this connector, you can see it right here, there are pins. So there is probably a way to just solder these pins and interact with this part in the same way, is my guess. Not fully versed in the engineering of this thing, but there's two sets of pins. There's one set here. There's one set here. We're doing a dual-sided ribbon cable. But yeah. Now fold down the flex cable such that it sits between the disconnector and heatsink and is no longer on top of the heatsink. Well, yeah, you really wouldn't want this lying on the heatsink. Okay, so then we're doing one more fold. That's really sketchy. Okay. Ooh, this feels terrible. Great, I'm just touching the heatsink now. Looks like it's been about 40 minutes, so new Welcome in, Nasty Triangle and Gooch. It's good to see you both. We're doing something really uncomfortable here today. We're folding a ribbon cable in all kinds of ways, in a W formation. So it's kind of hard to see, but I'm trying to avoid the entire heatsink here. They kind of have it in the images where this is out here, and then they folded this in too, is what it looks like. It's still touching the heatsink. Like, I'm really uncomfortable about that. I'm just going to tweeze crease on that side. This just seems really sketchy. It's still touching. This feels terrible.
Yo!
No video found for that query. Maybe? I'm going to move to the next step, but it doesn't. Doesn't feel good. All right. Step 2A with disk drive. Inspect your disk drive. The FlippyDrive flex cable will be escaping from under the shield on the front right corner if viewing the drive from the front. What? Front right. Is that your right? I guess that's your right. It's my left. Gets I don't know. I guess we're putting this back on. The real test of our work here. Huh? How do I put this back on? Without interfering here. Thread it through here, maybe? Oh, it says in the next step. Okay. Right in here. I'm trying to foresee problems before they happen. Okay. Here's the moment of truth. I might want to look at this. Oh geez, this is nerve wracking. Okay. What a mod. I'm now pushing the original disk drive pins into a ribbon cable that I've folded so much. This feels terrible. Okay. Whew. We have no idea if it's touching the heat sink either. Can't see in there anymore. Okay. Whew. I don't know what I'm doing, and that's what makes it feel bad. I'll be 100% clear with that. I made it come out of the wrong hole. Great. I really should have just read the whole thing before. It doesn't want to come up. Okay, that looks good. I still don't like how the heat shield is just like the ribbon cable is just slightly interfering on the heat shield here, just right on the edge. Okay. All right. So we want to thread the ribbon cable through here, which there's definitely enough space for. Okay. It's awkward too because there's just not a whole lot of space to like push down on this without pushing down on the shock absorbers of the drive, so it kind of like confounds how much pressure you're putting on there. So I'd say this is a good pushing position because this is where the 30 pin is, or the multi pin is. I don't know how many pins it has. I say 30 pin because it looks like it's 15 times 2, but it could be different. But it's a multi-pin connector. That flap touching is not a big deal. I mean, it's the heatsink though. I don't want my ribbon cable to burn. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a concern. It's not like it's the biggest deal in the world. I understand that, but you know, we're dealing with the heatsink. Anything around the heatsink, you want to keep it off of the thing that gets hot. I understand that a GameCube may not get super hot. It is, after all, air-cooled. But okay. Before I button this up, I'm just assuming here there could be more. Let's read. Gently lower the drive assembly down on the GameCube. Snake the flex cable through the slot in the folded metal shield. Once the flex cable is in the proper position, push the drive downward. Done. It only takes approximately 10 pounds or 5 kilograms of force to mate the drive to the GameCube. If you encounter more resistance, don't force it. Stop, remove the drive, and inspect the flex cable placement. The flex cable is fairly tear resistant. Why didn't you open with that? But not if you put your entire body weight into it. Fair. I'm over here, like, freaking out about this ribbon cable, but it does feel different than a normal ribbon cable that I've experienced. I doubt it'll get hot enough to do any damage. Yeah, I mean, it probably won't. It probably won't. It's on the edge of the heatsink, too. Typically, heatsinks get hot in the center and cool out as they disperse heat towards the edges. Didn't want to sound dismissive, just wanted to be reassuring. Yeah, I mean, I get it, Xander. I totally do. You're supposed to read the whole instructions beforehand. That's not how we work around here. I'm reading the instructions as we go. All right? That's how we do. I don't quite understand why we've now gone from I don't need the disk drive at all. I want it. But that's what this is. I'm not sending it. I'm reading. I'm just not reading everything. I'm not reading step 2, step 2A, step 2B before moving on to step 3. I'm reading as we go. All right, so we got this black piece is completely optional. This little 3D printed black piece right here, this little cap, is so that you can just not have the disk drive at all. You can replace your whole disk drive with this. I was wondering what the hell that was. I couldn't recognize it. I could recognize largely everything else. I was like, this is a ribbon cable. It obviously goes somewhere. This is the Flippy Drive itself, you know. The other one's the Ethernet module. Like, I was like, okay, that's fine. But yeah. All right. Install the Flippy Drive. How? It's not. I don't want to put the steps are out of order here. Okay, we're reading ahead. The steps are terribly out of order. There's no way that's right. Oh, it's right. Never mind. We're going out that post. We're doing this. I didn't want to do this. I would much rather go under this post and not over this post. But we do have flex, is what it looks like. Okay. Get my screwdriver out. Finish off this bracket. Because apparently we're just omitting a screw entirely. Sounds about right for me, you know? At least we're making this screw tight. We're not omitting some loose cannon. So this goes right here. Which means I basically got one of the best angles for you guys. Just by turning. You can kind of see what's going on here. But again, it's black on black. A lot of black on black on black. And I don't have enough contrast to really make this great for you. Let's see. So we're skipping this screw hole is what it looks like. Just from looking at this. And then the Flippy Drive lives right here. So let's figure that out. Here it is. I might be missing something. Yeah, I don't see any screws. Yeah. Well, it's an awkward place to realize that I don't have screws. All right. At least we don't have loose screws. You know? Nothing in the bag. I gotta say, the packaging, not great here. But I don't even think the hardware store, the local hardware store, is gonna have little, tiny screws. So a Flippy Drive is a thing that it's a solderless solution that allows you to bypass the disk drive and play homebrew. It's basically a Raspberry Pi. Do I have any old motherboard boxes? Yeah, I mean, it's a really common screw that I need. It's like a P0 computer screw. Like really generic, like laptop screw or something that I need to go through. Just one of these holes is what it looks like, because it looks like it just sits in here and then screws right here. But unfortunately, I don't know offhand where I'm going to find one of those right now. So that's fun. Also, this doesn't really fit. Good job. Good job. I don't know. Maybe it goes the other way. I don't think so. I think the ribbon cable. Maybe. Let me look. Let me look. Let me look. Oh. Yeah, their mounting bracket's different. It has 2 screw holes. Uh. Okay. There we go. We've gone screwless, is what it looks like, with our 3D printing, and the instructions have not been updated to reflect that. That's all. I mean, that feels pretty firmly in there. You could obviously put a screw there, but this is completely screw holeless now, which is kind of cool. And, you know, it being 3D printed, I had to kind of finagle that a little bit. But it's in there. Welcome in, Mummified Chili and B&P. Do I have any double-sided electric tape? I could do that. I could absolutely do that. That wouldn't be a bad idea. But I don't have any. I looked at the front of the instructions, which said you need a screwdriver and a game bit and a kit. And then I went, we're doing this on stream. And didn't read any more instructions than that. Is that ideal? No. But I like to encounter problems live on stream rather than anything else. I'm not too concerned. I mean, it's all solid state stuff. You know, the way of a true man. I mean, I read instructions as we go. That's way more fun, right? Yeah, the bracket changing definitely threw me for a loop here. Because this is a screw hole in their picture. All right. Now the most difficult part. Wait, what? Oh. Oh, I gotta take it out of here. Shoot. Okay. There we go. I suspect this is not the first time that I will be taking this in and out. But I get the lovely pleasure of concerning myself with this ribbon cable. Okay. Lots of text to read here. Let's refresh ourselves with ribbon cables, because that's always fun. Check the orientation of the flex cable and line up so that the 2 triangles are on the same side. Do you mean the triangle on this side is the same as the triangle on this side, or do you mean that I want the 2 triangles to touch? I'm guessing based on the bracket mount that I want it to be this way. In which case, the cable does this. If the flex does not easily insert, check the previous step. Remember, it's a delicate connector, so be gentle. When closing the black flex locking tab, push it closed from the center. I concur. ideally with your whole thumb. Do not push it closed from one edge. You will break it. If you try closing the tab unevenly, see the manufacturer's drawing. Great. I kind of want to just, like, reorient this thing so that I'm not dealing with this, but dealing with this. The website says that it's easy to install. I mean, it's only taken us an hour. Welcome in, lazy uncle. Or no, you've been here. You've been here. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's easy. It's easy to not solder. I feel like I'm going through a lot of hoops when I probably would have saved a lot of time just soldering. Although me being a absolute novice solderer who's only soldered like 3 things in my life, I have no confidence taking a soldering iron to a GameCube yet. Okay. Oh, tip. If you received your Flippy Drive in or after August 2025, your kit might not include screws. Reading is fundamental here, people. All right. You felt like a mastermind? Yeah, I haven't done that. I haven't done that for I have a lot of Game Boy games that are just sitting rotten. Rip. I know that I lost my battery on my Silver years ago. What am I installing this into? A GameCube. It was a GameCube. See? GameCube. You can tell by the way that it's got a faceplate that looks like a GameCube. You put an OLED in a GB Advance and you love it so much. The screen mods, yeah. I'm going to look into that and do that on stream one of these days. Because I need to service my Game Boy Advance. I tried to this week turn it on and it you don't recognize the faceplate? That doesn't look like a GameCube controller? I understand. I didn't have one either. All right. Enough dawdling. Okay, we're loose. It's just a ribbon cable. It's fine. It's just a ribbon cable. It's not going in. It's not going in. I'm not forcing it. Not sure you've seen a GameCube? So they got this really cool top, and they got a handle. There we go. They're just giant cubes. Or I guess this would be, picture that. I touched the ribbon cable and I didn't freak out. It's the first step to success, right? I'm really trying to not, force this, but it's really not going in. Okay. It's not even purple? No, they make them in silver, and they made them in orange in Japan. That's a real spicy one. It doesn't go through. Okay. I thought this was a go-through connector. Um, it's not going down. Hmm. Why would there be cash in there? Like loose change in the couch, but way more extreme. You know, I checked. I did check Nasty Triangle to see. I did pull off the when I got it just to make sure there wasn't cash in there. I should have probably put cash in there. That would have been funny. All right. This goes down. Okay. I agree, Gooch, though I believe it's 4 is the magic number. If you're going for more than 4 hours, please consult a doctor. Which is why we're going to end this stream at the 4-hour mark almost every time that we play games here. All right. There we go. 4-6, what's the difference? A phone call 2 hours ago. That's the difference. If you wanted to know. Let's just hang that loose. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. All right. It's in there. And now we really press. This is so uncomfortable to be doing with a PCB. All right, snapped in there. And now it's hanging out down the street. Same old things we did last week. All right. I'm going to take care of the most difficult of the screws first. Because obviously, there's a lot of software that I'm not ready for at all. I don't even have an SD card in this thing. So I'm probably just going to leave this open by the end of it. But, you know, we got the Flippy Drive in there. I apparently need to go get... Well, I don't know. I got a 64 that I'm not using either. I could just do that. So when's this race I'm training for? Next week. And am I going to IRL stream it? No, because I'm taking it serious. And not going to be carrying a phone with a gimbal and all the other nonsense that would be required of me to be IRL streaming an 8 a.m. race. That no one's going to watch. Okay. I did not take care of the hard one first. As it turns out, it's hard. I took the easy route. Now we'll do the hard one. It's particularly hard when my mic stand's in the way. And you can't quite see my mic stand because I set up the camera in such a way. But yeah, here we go. I kind of want a different screwdriver, honestly. All right. Got my really long screwdriver that's thinner. You hope I win the wager I made? I didn't make a wager. I don't know what you're talking about. Hmm. This is a hell of a screw. Maybe I do this without the board in place. Hmm. This is where having screws would be nice instead of this mounting bracket. I'll be honest. Okay. That space is really tight in there. Okay. Nice and cozy. Okay. It feels like a wear item, this ribbon cable. Because in order to get the SD card out, I have to move this basically every time. Because here's the SD card holder, and that goes into here. So there's like, it would be very hard to do this with your fingers. Maybe with a pair of tweezers, you could kind of gain access, you know? But then you're tweezing every time you want to get an SD card. So you don't need to touch it again. Well, I mean, so that's why there's this. Ultimately, they sell an additional kit for an Ethernet adapter that goes into the back of this thing, and now you can access it on a web server so that you don't actually need to touch it. But this is an additional component, right? Like I spent another $25 for this. So not everyone's buying this. So I feel like just this alone, not a great way to go. I will say. Get this, which I need to figure out how to install after, but right now I'm just trying to get that part secure at least, so we're not stressing my ribbon cable here. There. All right. Verify installation. Connect the Gamecube to a display and power on the Gamecube while holding X. It's safe to run the Gamecube without a fan for quite some time. Why would I run it with... I'd rather just put the... I'm putting the screws on. Soft model Wii that has GameCube ports. I have a Wii. It's broken. I went for this instead of fixing the Wii because this works. You know?
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus.
I don't know. This just makes sense to me. Because now I can play Game Boy games on this. I can't do that with the Wii anyway. And this is the only Nintendo system of my life that I'm missing. Yes, Benny, you know, my PC plays Sega too. My PC plays GameCube. This plays GameCube. Like, you know, you can emulate anything on damn near a toaster nowadays. That's not why I'm doing this. It's because I'm playing damn near every day on this. Okay? You see this? This is an SNES. That's what plays Flo McNasty World for the last year and a half or whatever. Or no, last year or so. Like, I want to play on hardware because last stream, Thursday, was a perfect example of why I want to play on hardware. My computer's not great. It struggles handling OBS and anything else. So it does a great job at streaming OBS. I'm flawless streaming OBS on this PC. It's got a decent enough video card and everything that I can probably do that for at least another year without replacing the motherboard. And therefore, you know, the processor. Which is the weakest link here. But every time I emulate anything, there's some lag. Anytime I run anything on this PC that isn't 2D, there's some lag, largely. And so, you know, I'm just trying to dual PC stream without a second PC, basically. Because I have a capture card. So I'm just taking advantage of that, really. It's fun to give me shit sometimes. It's fair. It's totally fair. I get it, you know? I'm just saying, like, you know, I can play my discs on this, which I haven't been able to do for like 5 years. Thursday's stream struggle was epic. It was epic in the way that it's unique. It was also embarrassing, and I'm not happy about the state of my PC, but I bought it in 2020 or 2021, something like that, you know? When computer parts were really expensive, and it was really just kind of I'll take whatever I can get for this price, please. Hmm. 2020 laptops, why you tend to play console? Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't have $5,000 to buy a super nice PC right now. So I'm happy to have a GameCube. You guys have funded that, and I'm excited to try and do some stuff with GameCube. But this is a Japanese GameCube. So again, I went cheap. And I needed the Flippy Drive to load up the right firmware. Canada Post Strike is over. You might get your Zelda 1 and 2 FDS. Ooh, that's really cool. That's very cool, Gooch. Never thought about GameCube being region locked? I mean, they all are. Wii U. The portable consoles aren't, but the technically the SNES is region unlocked with a physical piece of plastic region locking the device. But like physically it's region locked out of the box kind of thing. Probably better than yours. You got a 2023 pre-built that was on sale. I got a 2021 pre-built. It just struggles to run like I only have 8 gigs of video RAM, and it struggles to run this background with any 3D game and OBS. Like that's asking a lot of my video card. Or at least my VRAM. That's largely what fills up. That isn't like 10 years old. Like ATS runs like a freaking dream on stream. It stutters a little bit. I've seen it, but it doesn't stutter a lot. And it's pretty cool. Oh wait, hold on. You know what? I'm just gonna put these in real loose. Like not fully in there. And then we'll test it. You've not launched ATS since you got your new computer? Yeah, you should rectify that. There's a lot of cool DLC. Iowa, baby. Understandably, not everyone's going to be excited about Iowa. I'm kind of mid on it, honestly. I think I streamed it once. I'm not even sure if I finished the event, honestly. You stopped we stopped our convoys, and you haven't really played it either. That's fair. Yeah. I did get a shifter. I did get the Logitech shifter. So I'm excited to install that. I just need to go to the hardware store and grab some screws that go into the bottom of this sucker so that I can mount it. I don't know if I'm going to use it for ATS specifically, but my computer be wildin' right now. Uh. You think you've never been excited about Iowa in your life? But that's a you problem? You have zero interest in playing ATS unless it's in a convoy? I understand that. I completely understand that. It's not everyone's game. I totally get it. Why does that... This feels so wrong. I feel like this is just going to bend right off. Oh, no. There we go. It fits. Funny how that works. All right. Let's get this... fan back on, and then turn this on. I'm not screwing in every screw 100%, but I want to make sure that I'm not overheating the thing. Hold on. This one, I believe, is part of the fan. Nope. We're just going to hope this all works, you know? I'm going to need to fish my power supply, which I didn't bring to my desk. Oh, it's this one. I knew there was 2 screws for the fan. See, I'm learning about the GameCube. And losing screws. Perfect. All right. Oh, that looks great. Okay. Fits like a glove. Kind of a tight fit on this one. Was easier to get out, that's for sure. Okay. Screws mostly in place. I'm not going to worry too much about the fan shroud just yet. Or faceplate shroud, perhaps? I'm not really sure what that does. Looks like it's some sort of bracket for keeping this board from flexing too much, perhaps. Okay, I'm just gonna... just place that on top. It's loose. And then I'll go get the power cable and and then we'll plug it in. I don't know where I misplaced my power cable. Okay. Huh. I don't see it. Ah, okay. Yeah. I had tested this over here. I got it. Okay. That really doesn't want to go in there. IMSA running at Le Mans. That sounds cool. Okay. Doing this without the back faceplate and unscrewed together. Maybe not the most ideal situation here, but there we go. Okay. All right. We have power. There we go. We got power. Got power there. Look at that. That's a Flippy Drive. It's running. That's pretty awesome. There's no card in there or anything, so there's a lot more to do. But I got the initial install in there. Now we can work on this Ethernet adapter situation, hopefully. I kind of want to just get an SD card in there, though. And I kind of want to just get a dedicated one now that I'm looking at it. So maybe I... Yeah. Yeah, I think that might be the way to go. You were going to say it's surprisingly blurry, but then raise the stream quality from 160p. It's a little blurry still. I've read that this is not the best port to get a GameCube image out of, and that's understandable. The better port is right down here, which I do have an adapter coming in for that. Here, let me flip to this scene. So there's this is a DOL01. So there's two video out ports. This is the same connector that the SNES and the N64 uses. And this is the composite cable out, basically. And it does 720 or 480p, something like that. It looks cleaner. This isn't giving me my rad isn't giving me the purple light. It's giving me the yellow light with smoothing turned off. So it's being smoothed despite not being smoothed or something. I don't know. It's really low quality. The SNES looks better for that text, is my guess. GC doesn't output RGB. That's it. Yeah. There's something with that. But I mean, we got it loading the bootloader. So that means that You can get an RGB mod for it. I'm just getting the other out to HDMI, which I know it's not going to look as good as a composite to a FrameMeister or whatever, but like, you know, I'm not going to spend $800 on retro video hardware either. Component, not composite, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying. Yeah, the this little retro tink RAD2X yeah, doesn't do it at all. There we go. But yeah, it's wild to me that Nintendo used this port for 3 generations of consoles. Thankfully, though, they did, because it means I can plug in my N64 and my GameCube into this and work, which is a great pinch right now. This thing really grabs onto the power. There's like a little friction nubbin right here that like pops out. This is a third-party one, so I'm thinking maybe the first party had some like actual like button that you would depress or something. I don't know. I don't know. Not going to pretend to know everything about GameCube. Okay. Think it's safe to tighten these down because we're not going deep in the belly of the beast anytime soon. Okay, so there's a USB port. There's a USB port right here. And then there's a ribbon cable right here. It's also a button. Not really sure what the button does. Probably could read about that. But the USB probably gives you access to the SD card without having to pull it out. So that's probably really nice. That's a good like ease of life solution. It is facing the wrong way, but you know, they're limited too. But let's figure out this Ethernet instruction. It's kind of where I'm at right now. We got our Ethernet port. Oh, I should probably put the... Hold on. Before we do that, I should probably put this back correctly. So that it's not going to be eternally wiggling. Going back to P1 mode here. And just being real gentle with these because I don't really know if they're actually P1s or P0s. But we don't want to strip them either way. They kind of look like P1s. I don't know. P1.5? Or no, P.5 maybe? I don't know. They're a little tiny. Oh, I see there's actually a decent amount of wear, too, on these contacts. I mean, this is probably shielding, honestly. It's not really a contact, but maybe it's a ground. I don't know. Maybe that's dirt. Hold on. No, that's just wear. It's rubbing from putting controllers in, it looks like. All right. Ah! All right. Perfect. Good stuff. Here. It's really satisfying just to get these screws in, you know? I know it's not the most exciting and riveting thing, but and stuff fits like a glove. Man, that's good. Okay. Now, you. Got a ribbon cable here. That's the kind of ribbon cable connector I'm used to. Nice little slider on that. Ah, that's the kind of stuff I want to see. All right. What's the deal with this? We've got nothing really like wild about it. I don't know. Very standard Ethernet port. All right. Remove an additional screw. For the Ethernet to fit inside of the GameCube below the lid switch, it's required to move one screw. Is it, though? Probably
Is it?
helps break up the goobles. Exactly what I'm thinking.
Laura_Nado just subscribed for 31 months.
Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the sub. For 31 months. That's a really long time. Let's spin this. We've got some COD. All right. Oh, there's the crickets. And here's the COD. Let's do this. We're just modding our GameCube, in case you weren't aware. Oh. God, that's salty. Oh. All right. Woo. All right. Ah. Whew. That's strong. Yeah, I don't have any problem with fish typically. It's that stuff is just very, very strong. Okay. I'm not really sure what's going on. All right. That does not fit like a glove. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, I don't like how that fits. Okay. Had to step. Oh, it's going great. We were able to boot the bootloader on the Flippy Drive. So it looks like everything's going good. We were able to test it. Now we're working on the Ethernet. Yeah, I was really worried about that ribbon cable situation. I'll be completely honest there. That is wild to me. This is such a bad recreation of this. I gotta say, this is cheap. I don't know what groove it's missing, but there's something it's missing other than these wings that I'm touching right now that makes this feel like it's never going to fit. But anyway, speaking of never going to fit, let's take another screw off. Because apparently that's what we need to do. I am a little bummed. They didn't include a place to put this screw either. You know, they've included a place to put this screw, but what was the Ethernet port for then? Does that go under the GameCube? It goes in the back plate. They've added a 3D printed back plate. And then this goes in here somehow. Maybe like this. I haven't fully figured this out yet, obviously. But then it goes and connects to the Flippy Drive such that you'll never need to let me see. Huh. Yeah, I don't really know how this fits in here. It kind of looks like it might fit like this. But yeah, it connects with a ribbon cable to the Flippy Drive, so you never have to pull the SD card, theoretically. You can just network mount it. And then you never have to, like, pull the SD card really long term anyway. And yeah, you can update the firmware and all kinds of things. So I'm excited to get this installed, but it is a lot of extra steps here. I think it goes like this, but I'm going to read the instructions a little bit more here. Also, I really don't like that we're taking a screw out. It says just tape it in here somewhere. And I'm like, you did this, but then you didn't do this. And you gave me all this real estate right here. So there's plenty of room right here that you could have made a screw holder in the same way that you did right here. You had 4 screws left over? Did you double check under here? Because that's 3. There's 2 under this, and then there's 2 that hold this in place, and then there's 4, and yeah. That seems like a lot of screws, Xander. That seems like an excessive amount of screws to just be leaving out of your GameCube. Especially with the fitment of this. You'll be playing one day and it'll just come apart. Yeah. You know, the top will just pop right off somehow. Wouldn't that be something? The thing just takes itself apart. All right. Yes, I was right about the fitment. Position the PCB with flex cable connector facing upward. With logo facing away from the GameCube AV ports. Logo facing away, yes. Reading every word. Viewing from the back, the lights on the Ethernet port should be on the right. Correct. Lights are going to be on the right here. When viewing from the right. That might have been upside down. Oh, geez. This is some hard plastic. This is not pliable. That's hard. Ow. Ah. Oh, I'm bleeding. Nice. Just cut myself on soldering pins. That's fun. Guess I'm going to go get a Band-Aid. Well, Gooch, I'm glad you brought that up. Because, that was not on the instructions. When I started reading what you need, it was a screwdriver, a GameCube, a kit, and a game bit driver, and not a tetanus shot. So maybe that should be on the instructions. Maybe. Also, is your GameCube battery good? No. It's unknown. And I have no soldering iron. So the while you're in there is going to be a next time. You've ignored all the times it's told you to replace it? I mean, to be fair, it's not bothered me about it, but I also haven't been using it. So it's probably good now. But it's a secondhand GameCube. I've owned this for less than a year. Jeez. That was hard to get in there. And I'm sorry I didn't get it on camera, but it's very difficult to get that in there. Let's see if we can straighten it out. It's very crooked. Same. Very crooked in there. Trying not to stab myself with all of these really high solder points. I feel like they could have done some snipping. But that probably costs extra. Damn. That's really stiff. But yeah, I figure if it's just a clock battery, who cares? Until it starts leaking acid all over my controller ports. Which, it's player 3 and 4. No one uses those. No one has that many friends. All right. Might have to pull it out. It's really in there. And not in the way that I want. Otherwise, this would be fine. This is what you're supposed to do, right? You put the Ethernet cable or the Ethernet port, and then you put a screwdriver in the Ethernet port in order to get it to get in the right position, right? I'm following the instructions, surely. Surely this is part of the step. No, it's not. It's not mentioned at all. Also, they're not even following their own instructions. Huh. Gotta love it. They put the ribbon cable on the Ethernet port and then inserted it in here. I think it sticks out enough where that's not really a problem. You know, I'll be able to get this just fine while it's mounted in place. It's more a matter of just getting this thing in place so that I can do that step without finicking with a ribbon cable. I don't like this plastic. It's not bendy enough. That's probably a good thing. Like, the purpose of this is to be the back of your GameCube, after all. But it... I'm struggling to get this in here. Oh, that's good. I got some good leverage there. All right. Try and show you what I'm doing here. Oh. Almost. We're getting there. Still not fully in there, but it's getting close. Hmm. Almost. Almost. I will say, for a solderless kit, this hasn't been easy. But I don't think soldering was the hard part here. There we go. We're in there. There's a little bit of flex on the Ethernet cable, but not too much. Honestly, it's a pretty good fit. That's why it was so hard to get in there. It pretty much doesn't wiggle too much. There's a little wiggle. You can kind of see. There's some wiggle here, that's for sure. Here. You can see there's some wiggle here, but there's not a whole lot of this wiggle. So that's probably what they were going for. All right. Final ribbon cable. Ah. Okay. Insert rear I/O panel. Connect ribbon cable. And then do the Flippy Drive. Okay. So Ethernet first. I don't know what's going on. What are we doing here? I need better instructions, damn it! It's not fitting anymore. Oh, I see. Okay, it's really a tight fit under this latch uh sensor. There we go. They really fit that US or that Ethernet cable in like the only spot they could. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Blue side, upside. All right. Makes sense. This shiny. Shiny side, blue side. Shiny side interacts with pins. That's definitely the technical term. Is this a real ribbon cable where blue side actually is stiff? No. Come on, Ethernet. Accept my cable. Perfect. And then this is a little fun. Come on, blue side. Get in there. Okay. Perfect. We have any advice for this? Do not use excessive force. When closing the black flex locking tab, push it closed from the center. Ideally, with your whole thumb. Do not push it close from what edge. You will break it if you try closing the tab unevenly. I think I did a pretty good job of that. When locked, the black locking tab will be flush with the body of the connector. Make sure that the ribbon cable is inserted straight into the connector, not at a slight angle. I think I did that okay. Yes, definitely cosmic. Gentle. We'll restart the music. Connect the GameCube to a display. And then add Ethernet. Okay, we'll verify the Ethernet, I guess. I don't think I have an Ethernet cable spare. Might have to steal from my Switch. Kind of want to just give this a little crease, not a big one, just a little one. I want tape. Yeah, I'm gonna tape it. Okay. That was effective. That might work. There's just not good adhesive points here. And I don't really want to put it on the heat shield because that seems like a great way to melt some tape. But maybe that's what we have to do. All right. I just kind of like that it's a little bit more tucked away now. I know it's not the most exciting little mod there. And it's kind of dirty, but, you know, it's fine. It's fine. This doesn't snap in any way without the top shell, is what it looks like. Speaking of tape, it did say to tape that screw in there. So let's tape that screw in there. I'm following the directions. We've got tape and a screw here. Theoretically, it's fine. Theoretically. It looks like this is intake and this is outtake. And I'm doing that based solely on the fact that there's a filter on this side and there's just vents on this side. So I think this is the intake, in which case I think it's safe to put a lot of components over here, which is why they picked this, but also it's close to the drive slot, so that was really fortunate. But that does make me feel better about the fact that our ribbon cable might be touching the heatsink, because this side theoretically is the cold side and this side's the hot side. Again, haven't used a GameCube enough to really know that off the top of my head. But just looking at the engineering of it all, it might be the smart way to go, the way they did it. All right. What am I doing? There. That looks pretty clean, actually, you know? Even though it's not silver anymore or labeled, it does look pretty clean. Despite that. Okay. Why is this such a jam? All right, we got our game bit. We put the screws back in the holes. The very deep holes. And here we go. Because I won't dare use this without the top now, since that Ethernet cable is really a suspicious install. I was wondering about that when I bought it, just based on the pictures. I was like, I don't know about that, but yeah, it's a little suspicious. Do I think it's the best way to do it? Yeah, pretty much. I'm not a better engineer. I think it's pretty clever what they did overall, but it seems a little questionable at best sometimes. But it's fine. It's fine. Okay. Take our game bit out. Perfect. All right. Might as well put these back in. Okay. Now I'm using the camera. Because I can't see this very well. Okay. Does this fit better now? No, it wiggles around like a crazy person. Yeah, even just putting the power cable in with a back plate is still such a questionable perspective. And I don't feel a lot of flex in this either. So I feel like Nintendo just didn't make a really great power cable situation here. Because it moves around a lot. There's a lot of play here for the power cable. Now I understand this is a third-party cable, but it's still interesting. Nevertheless. All right. Got to pull my switch out here. I don't know where to put it. But there's an Ethernet cable in that dock that I'm going to plug into here. All right. Did I just... Oh, no. All right. Lights on the Ethernet. Hey. Nice. Cube bootloader. I don't know what that means, considering there's still no SD card in this thing. But this is a different screen than what we got before. I'll plug a controller in. Oh, okay. Team Off Broadway. Interesting. Are we getting audio? You are? Cool. I'm not, but that's expected. That's by design. How cool is that? Huh. So yeah, when I booted this, it was all in Japanese. Now it's in English. So that's kind of cool. All right. Put a disc in. I'm not using a normal GameCube controller right now. I'm using the little... Do I need to reset, maybe? I don't know what's going on there. Maybe I need some firmware. That might be it. Looks like my clock's working. Sort of. Not really sure. Oh. Make sure your disk lid is open before reassembly. I did not read that. And it was certainly closed. But it's hitting the sensor just fine. Okay. Huh. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. Can I at least see the Ethernet? That's really what I want to know. To use the disk drive, you have to hold left on the D-pad as you start it up. Oh, thanks, Beastie. 15. I'll do that. It might not like this controller, to be fair. But I mean, it should be the same D-pad. Let's see. Using the Flippy Drive. Normal mode. Right. For enhanced disk mode. Disk mode. Oh, changed in version 1.4.5. In version 1.4.3 and below, the L and R triggers were used for disk mode and enhanced disk mode. Okay. Left on the controller panel when powering up the console. Huh. Maybe I need to do L and R. Full power down? Possibly. We can do that. Oh, I hear the disc spinning. Okay. But BC, thank you for pointing me in the right direction. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, I think restart. Hold left. I might need some firmware on this because I don't have an SD card in here yet. But it clearly has something installed on it. It has some amount of storage. All right, let's try enhanced disk mode. Now we're getting somewhere. Oh? Hey, there we go. That's cool. That's very cool. That's so cool. We got Metro Prime. That is so cool. I don't have my memory card in here, but yeah, that's really cool. All right.